So as an entrepreneur, you brought up an interesting point. As an entrepreneur, your main objective is to solve someone's problem and monetize that.
Yeah, 100%.
What are some steps that you could share that would get our listeners to understand how they can monetize their gift or their talent as it relates to solving a problem for their potential client or customer?
All right, cool. So if you just start from scratch, what I would say is you want to use your senses, right? So you want to use your ears and you want to use your eyes. So meaning, what are you hearing consistently that people are struggling with or having a problem with? What are you seeing consistently, whether on social media or in real life, that people are actually struggling with? And what seems to come up consistently? What seems to be like a consistent hurdle that you hear or see, or that you may be overseeing, right? If you're a part of some groups, or maybe if you work at a job, you know, what is something that people are seeming to have an issue with? More than one person, more than 10 people. What is something that could make someone's journey different, or their experience different or easier, you know, in a certain place, whether online or in real life? You know, I would start there. I would ask those questions. If you still can't find nothing from that, and you're a part of a group, whether online or person or in person, or even if you have a group of friends or family, like let's even break it down there. I would do a poll like, hey, what are you guys struggling with? What are some of the problems that you wish that you had a solution for? And I would really just start there, and then look at the common theme that may come up. You know what I'm saying? Look at the common theme that may come up. And if you can solve that problem, then you got a business, right? You basically potentially have a business. The second thing I would do is, the thing that comes easy for you, is it so easy that, as we touched on it, that is very difficult for someone else? And are people always asking you to do the thing that comes easy for you because they know that you can do it? Like, I remember for me growing up, like, people used to always come to me to basically ask me questions and share some insights so I could problem solve their situation or just listen to their situation. I was a really good listener, a really good secret holder, and I also gave really good advice, whether or not I actually experienced that or not, because my advice wasn't biased. It was more based on logic. You know what I'm saying? So I realized eventually that even this raw skill that I have to provide some insight is something that comes easy for me. Or even me being more accountable for myself and waking up early, knocking out the gym, doing the things I need to do, reading every day, whatever, that comes easy for me. These two things that is easy for me, that I'm like, yo, this is nothing. Like, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow at 4 a.m., do my thing, and it's super hard for the next person. But it's my lifestyle. It's easy for me. Like, it's nothing. Okay, I gotta wake up at 3:30 tomorrow. Cool, I'll wake up at 4. Like, it's easy for me. Okay. You got a problem. All right, let me look at it linearly. Let me give you different ways to kind of analyze it. This may be the option. Maybe this somebody, break it down in a certain way, so to speak. It's easy for me. But those are things that are difficult for other people. So building an accountability group and monetizing that, and building a coaching program, and then as I'm being coached, learning different aspects to make it easier for people. Those are two things that I have been able to create, but it literally started from what has become easy for me. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't go out and get other skills and go out and improve my process. It just means I started with something that was easy for me. I don't feel an energy drain, a slight aggravation, oh man, I gotta do this tomorrow, because this is what comes natural for me. So Those are the two ways I would suggest that someone begins to look at it, right? Look at the general marketplace that you're kind of like around. What are you hearing? What are you seeing that people repeatedly say or that you witness that's an obvious issue? And then what is something that comes so easy for you that people have been coming to you for this thing, and you just cast it away because you just feel like it's just, it's part of you, which it is, but it's literally the thing that you can give the world and monetize and change your life if you set it up a certain way.
I think that's key, because a lot of times we overlook those natural gifts or those natural abilities because they come so easy. We don't think that that's something that can be monetized. And so would you say it's more important to be self-aware in who you are and what your skill set is rather than seeing the problem, or are they equally important? Like, this whole idea of like, what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? It's like, because folks are always trying to put things in buckets.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious to know, from your perspective, what do you have to do first? Do you have to see what problem is and see if you have a skill set to fit that problem? Or do I need to evaluate and self-audit myself in order to see what skills I have, what abilities that come natural to me, and then put that out into the world and see if there's a problem that I can solve with that skill?
I think all of it is important. I think it all is important because, number one, I think you being more self-aware is gonna just help you in all stages in your life, right? Because we're growing every single day, right? We're growing in aspects that we don't even notice. And then the next thing you're like, oh, wow, where does mold come from? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had this mold before, right? So like every day we're growing, like our bodies are changing, our minds changing. So being self-aware, like weekly or monthly or quarterly, like however you're auditing yourself is important, just so you know what's going on. But knowing what comes natural to you or your skill set or what you enjoy doing is extremely important, because now you can turn that into a business, or you could just focus more on that. Because whatever comes easy to you is definitely something that is harder for someone else, which means that's definitely something that can solve their problem. And then also, you're paying more attention to the marketplace and seeing what you're hearing and what you're seeing. That's equally as important too, because you might see something glaring in the marketplace that you can solve. You might be able to solve that fast. Now, it's not a question of should I do one or the other, but I think if you're more aware of what's going on all directions, it's going to be easy for you to surmise what direction you actually want to go into to start.